Let's take a look at Google. I'm going to show you what I'm looking at from a higher time frame perspective, things that aren't actionable right now, but things that are very worthwhile to keep an eye on for this market. I'm going to look at also some more actionable things that I'll be looking at for actually trading this market this week. So let's start with the divergence analysis on the higher time frame. So I have the 3-month chart open. As you can see, we have some divergence going on the MACD, on the DPO, and on the CCI. These are a long ways off from confirming. The oscillators would have to close below these levels that I've marked with black lines. So nothing that's triggering right now or anywhere close to right now, but it is something that you need to be aware of, because if this does trigger, it implies a very, very large move to the downside for Google. But we're not there yet, but just wanted to point it out. Monthly, same thing. The same divergence is happening on the monthly, on the momentum, the MACD, and the CCI. So we need to watch that. Something else that I'm noticing is there is some divergence on the monthly for the bullish side. So we actually have price making a higher low, while the CCI made a lower low. So we want to make sure that we're watching this level here on the CCI for a potential buy signal, but that's not actionable or anything that's going to happen anytime soon. So it's just something to watch. Okay. So then down to the weekly, what do we see here? Well, we see this weekly divergence here happening as well. So price making a higher low while the MACD is making a lower low. So we have the same thing happening on the DPO, and we have the same thing. We have the same thing happening on the CCI. So we just need to watch for entry triggers. Nothing confirmed yet, but if we do get oscillators closing above the highs that I'm just pointing to right here, that would be pretty strong buy signal. Okay, so nothing actionable on the divergence front right now, but just some things that we definitely need to be watching in Google. Now, from the perspective of the moving average channel, last week, we actually traded into the low of the moving average channel. We are in an uptrend with the Williams accumulation distribution above the 57-period moving average. What that means is any pullbacks into the low of the MAC are buying opportunities. And that's exactly what we got here on the daily last week. This trade confirmed on the close of Friday, September 13th, and it hasn't hit its upside target yet. So the upside target is this price right here, 169.69. Oh, what a number. All right, Google. 169.69 is what I think this market should trade to possibly this week. The full upside target would be of this divergence trade that triggered at the bottom of the monthly MAC would be a move up to 180. So I think minimum Google goes up to around 170 or 169.69, and as far as 180.53. So that's what I'm looking at there. Now, on the weekly chart, though, not as good of a picture. The weekly is actually fully bearish for me right now. So what I may be looking at from this perspective is any trade, any price move up to 171 would be a place I'd want to look for sells on the 6-hour time frame. So the reason for this is we saw 2 consecutive closes below the low of the MAC. So that was the setup. We had the confirmed trend change here when the moving average channel when the Williams accumulation distribution actually closed below the 57-period moving average. So that for me means that until we get a confirmed trend change to the buy side with this method, then or to the long side, basically what that means is anytime price trades into the moving average channel high on the weekly, that's a decent place to look for shorts. So basically the monthly perspective, like I just explained, looking for price to trade up to around 170 is the target for that divergence trade. But from the weekly perspective here, any time price tags into this 171 range, 171.18 is a specific level it's at right now. That is an opportunity to sell Google. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for. And let's just for fun take a look at some cycles, because these are fun and I like looking at them. So what do we see? Well, cyclically, on the decennial pattern, we can see that there's a strong tendency for a pretty major low here to go up until end of October. Now, what's really crazy is this 90% chance that from October 10th to February 2nd, that the price from, if you were to buy on October 10th and then sell February 2nd, out of 20 years worth of data, or however, I don't know, however long Google's been around, but I asked the computer to show me 20 years worth of data to show me high probability annual predictable zones. And at 90% of the time, this has been an up move. So very interesting thing coming up here in Google. Then we also have, this cycle here. It's a blend of the 128 and the 59-day cycle. You can see a cyclical high here coming in October, actually to go down until December. So that's more in line with the weekly time frame strategy analysis that I just used for the moving average channel approach. So now that's more in line with looking for a move up into the 171 area and then sell down further from there. Now we do see a pretty major cyclical low here, and this is the 727-day cycle. That is the 2-year cycle, and that is putting in a pretty significant cyclical low here in October. So all very interesting things to note. Most important is that the divergences are setting up but are not yet confirmed. So we do need to watch the quarterly and monthly and weekly divergences that I noted at the start of the video, but those are a long ways off, so nothing actionable on that this week. But as far as actionable ideas, looking to sell any move around 171 with confirmation on the 6-hour time frame, or whatever entry technique a person likes to use. So that's what I'm looking for this week on Google. If you have any questions about any of my strategies or analysis and teachings, you can feel free to shoot me a message. I thank you very much for taking the time to listen to my video, and I will talk to you again soon. Thanks.